I think Virgil's power will be the difference. Boots has really good skills. Can't deny that. Very, very talented fighter. But the power is very, very different. Once you're in the ring, he's strong, bro. You've seen him in his last few fights. And the power is just impressive. Boots gets caught with one or two of those shots, and it's gonna hurt him.
While breaking down one of 2026's most anticipated welterweight clashes, Mikey Garcia, who has been in the ring with the best, is putting his eye for detail. When a former multi-division champion tells you Vergil Ortiz Jr. is the more explosive fighter heading into his showdown with Boots Ennis, it's worth paying attention.
I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight, though. I think Boots he's got the skills to be, very, very good and competitive, and then have some really good rounds, but I think Virgil's power will be the difference.
Garcia elaborates on what exactly makes Ortiz such a dangerous name to face. He laid out how Ortiz handled two of the division's most physically imposing threats. Rather than being worn down, Ortiz was the one doing the pushing, backing both men up despite carrying injuries that never made headlines.
He's too big, too strong.
Virgil fought Madrimov, and he fought Boyacek, and he fought, of course, his last fight.
Garcia discusses how the public often overlooks Ortiz's boxing IQ, much like they did with his own career. Pointing to Ortiz's previous performances, Garcia notes that once Ortiz recognized he was in control, he adjusted his tactics and positioning, rather than continuing to trade unnecessarily, demonstrating a level of adaptability and intelligence that many critics fail to acknowledge.
If I'm right, when I think about Virgil, I think about you. When you used to fight, people thought you were one-dimensional. They always said you were simple, you're beatable. I don't think people know how talented Virgil is. They don't think he comes forward and just has power. They don't realize he has a lot of intelligence and he can show more than what they've seen.
Well, even when he fought, I think it was Madrimov, he was fighting, trying to stop him. He kept fighting war, toe-to-toe. But then, I think it was like the last few rounds of the fight, he started to box. He started showing more jab, a little more leg movement, because he realized,
Not everyone on the panel shares Garcia's framing, and Max Kellerman and Tim Bradley Jr. bring a different concern to the table. They don't question Ennis's gifts, but they do flag a habit that could prove costly. Against a fighter with Ortiz's one-punch equalizer, that stylistic choice starts to look less like confidence and more like a gamble.
Stay in the pocket and just bang it out. He can get in big trouble fighting a guy like Ortiz.
You got too much Philly in him, Tim.
Too much Philly in him, Tim, I'm telling you.
Listen to me. He fights off of feeling, man, what I'm talking about. So if he don't feel you got any punch, guess what? He's willing to stand there and exchange with you.
He literally got hurt.
That's fine.
He got hurt.
That's fine.
So he knew that he had
but did you see but did you see the reaction that he made?
Yes.
He stuck there, he tied him up. He bought himself some time, and then what did he do? He came back and blitzed him with combinations.
Yes, but he can't do that with everybody.
He won't do that with everybody.
From there, the conversation turns philosophical. They see Ennis coasting on natural gifts, rather than a deep, drilled foundation. And whether that bag holds up once a fighter of Ortiz's caliber starts turning up the pressure and forcing him to problem solve on the fly, it's a test of how far instinct can carry him.
Talent, that's gonna be
Here's the best case scenario for Boots. Boots is like, in a way, to me, a version of Zab Judah in the sense that he is so physically talented. He's faster than everyone, he hits harder than everyone, he wants to smoke. But he has certain vulnerabilities underneath the surface level, and you want to know how deep is his bag if the going gets rough against another super fighter, right? But I think the best case scenario, and I'm not saying he's going to be as good as this guy, obviously. If you look at Sugar Ray Robinson, who's the greatest fighter ever, in his prime.
Roy Jones Jr. keeps his diagnosis simple when the conversation turns to Ennis's defensive slip-ups. He points straight to Ortiz as the litmus test, a fighter dangerous and relentless enough that any lapse in concentration gets punished immediately. Against that kind of pedigree, Jones argues, staying switched on for all 12 rounds won't be optional, it'll be survival.
He knows exactly what he did wrong. He said it himself, so he can fix that now. That's an easy fix. Don't go to sleep. That's the easy fix. I tell you what, put Virgil Ortiz in front of him and watch he don't go to sleep. Watch he don't go to sleep against Virgil Ortiz. Because if he goes to sleep against Virgil Ortiz, Virgil gonna show enough come at him. I guarantee you, put somebody like that in front of him, and I bet he don't go to sleep. And I put what they want to put on it. I guarantee he won't go to sleep. Now he might not win, but he won't be because he went to sleep. He won't go to sleep against Virgil Ortiz. Sure what I tell you, because that's a higher pedigree. That's a guy with a better background, with a better past, with a better track record, with a guy that he knows if you go to sleep, he gonna. So he not gonna go to sleep on him. I promise you he ain't.
By tackling the criticism head-on, Chris Mannix stresses whether Ennis's aggressive, offense-first approach is the very thing that leaves him exposed against a heavy-handed threat like Ortiz. It's something they don't brush aside, treating it as a legitimate crack in an otherwise dominant resume.
A lot of criticism of Boots and how vulnerable he's looked. We've heard people, whether it's Terrence Crawford, who may have some reasons for feeling that way, Tim Bradley, other fighters who have said, hey, Boots looked great offensively, but he did show some vulnerabilities. What have you made of the criticism of Boots in the aftermath of this?
Was it exciting? Yes. Was it the round of the year in that third round? Yes. Does he get hit? Absolutely. This is a hurt game, but the sweet science can be on the back foot. It could be brilliant. It could be master boxing, but then people will call it boring. But then once you get hit.
Terrence Crawford weighs in with a perspective that carries extra weight given his own resume, and he doesn't hesitate. Ortiz, in his eyes, presents the tougher puzzle for Ennis, largely due to how relentlessly he applies pressure from bell to bell.
Yeah. They both tough. But for me, I say Virgil.
Really?
I say Virgil.
Wow, even though Fundora was 6'6" and has a long distance.
Because Fundora leave the door open to get caught.
Right.
You know, but Fundora, you know, he's getting better.
Yeah.
He's definitely getting better. But Virgil, you know, he gonna be in your face. He gonna have his hands up.
Crawford breaks down exactly what makes that pressure so effective. Ortiz keeps a high guard that rarely drops, mixes in a stiff and consistently targets the body with punishing accuracy. It's that structure layered on top of relentless movement, Crawford notes, that makes Ortiz a more complete problem for Ennis to solve than a straightforward brawler would be.
He's gonna be jabbing you, you know, with a stiff jab and going to your body. And with Fundora, he wanna get inside.
Yeah.
He tall, but he don't want to. He don't
like
want to
the bang too.
He don't want to fight you on the outside. He
want to be in there.
He gonna ping, 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 and then when you get in inside, it's boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
I will say this though. I was at the fight against Thurman.
Timothy Bradley expects Ennis to have the upper hand against Ortiz, predicting a one-sided performance similar to the Stan Eunice fight. He believes Ortiz's pressure-heavy approach would give Ennis the type of opportunities he exploits best. In his view, Ennis's ability to read the action and respond instinctively would allow him to take control as the fight unfolds.
It's gonna be like a Stan Eunice type of beatdown. That's what it's gonna be. You can go watch Stan Eunice and the way he fights and how he comes forward and be aggressive. And you can watch Virgil, how he come forward and he be aggressive. Virgil's a little bit more techie. However, it's still the same thing coming off the jab. You know the jab is coming first. Boots, one of the best counter punchers in the game. That's why Boots is so damn dangerous. Because he get hit and then he's still landing at the same damn time. He punching in between punches. He's slipping punches and countering. He's making all this stuff up as he going because he's just off a feel.
Building on that point, Timothy Bradley favors Ennis because he believes his physical advantages and all-around skill set would create constant problems for Ortiz. He feels Ennis has far more ways to dictate the fight, while Ortiz relies on a predictable approach that could be exploited. Although Bradley admits Ortiz carries the power to change a fight with one punch, he expects Ennis to stay in control and wear him down over time.
Reach. Boots can set up shop further out, away from Virgil. Virgil uses the high guard as a primary defense. Boots punches through that, punches around that. Set lateral traps up on him. Virgil's one-dimensional. Yes, one-dimensional, dog, for real. One dimension is not gonna beat a whirlwind of dimensions. It's not. Now, he might get lucky and land a hard shot and hurt him. And then maybe finish him, but we can sit here and we say, but what if. We can say all of that, but I personally don't see it happening. I don't. It's gonna be a lot of heat, flaming heat coming at Virgil, for real. And he gonna get kept on the outside until Boots decide that, hey, he's soft enough to me step inside that pocket and let me go ahead and wear him out there too.
Hall of Fame trainer Teddy Atlas breaks down why Jaron Boots Ennis poses such a dangerous threat in a potential showdown against Vergil Ortiz Jr. He points to Ennis's elite precision, shot selection, and overall versatility as the core weapons that could define this mega fight.
Ennis is the puncher, and he's a sharpshooter. He's an accurate puncher. He's a guy that'll go to the body, go to the head. He'll fight inside, outside. He'll box if he has to, set traps if he has to, walk forward, engage if he has to, or if he wants to. But he is an accurate, sharpshooting puncher that doesn't waste much and places shots to the right spots.
Continuing that point, Teddy Atlas outlines the crucial tactical game plan Jaron Boots Ennis must execute to overcome Virgil Ortiz Jr.'s relentless style. He emphasizes that establishing a dominant jab and attacking Ortiz's body will be essential to controlling the distance and taking the air out of his opponent.
The jab, if you're going to be the guy who the burden's going to be to kind of make the fight, press the fight, you're going to need the jab to do that so the guy don't pot shot you. So he doesn't control the outside. So he don't dominate you with that stick, you know, as Ali would say back in the day. He's gonna have to go to the body. He being Ennis, he's gonna have to go to the body, take the air out of the wheels. Because I'll say it again, the key components are the jab.
From another analytical angle, Max Kellerman points to physical advantages and defensive skills, explaining why traditional boxing logic favors Jaron Boots Ennis over Virgil Ortiz Jr. However, he emphasizes that actually stepping into the ring and dominating a powerhouse like Ortiz is a completely different challenge.
I think the taller, longer fighter with the better defense should be favored, and that's Boots, right? Because generally, that guy wins those fights. But it's a different thing than actually going out and beating Virgil Ortiz and doing it in style. If he
especially
fights
in that type of manner.
Similarly, Mike Coppinger views this elite matchup as a pure 50-50 toss-up, highlighting Virgil Ortiz Jr.'s superior resume against high-level opponents. He stresses that Ortiz's proven grit and ability to overcome adversity give him a critical edge over Jaron Boots Ennis.
I think this is a genuine coin flip fight. I really do. And I think we have to remember that Virgil Ortiz has fought the much better competition.
That's true.
He beat Israel Madrimov, very quality win. Madrimov gave Crawford all he could handle. And that was a fight where Virgil Ortiz had to come back from down on the card. So he showed real heart, real character.
Adding another comparison, Gabe Rosado likens Jaron Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz Jr. to modern-day Sugar Ray Leonard against Thomas Hearns, calling it a legendary clash of this era. He highlights Ennis's complete arsenal, blending elite speed, power, and seamless stance switches as the dynamic core of this mega fight.
I love the fight between him and Virgil. I think that's a top-notch fight right there. That's Sugar Ray Duran right there. You know what I mean? Of this era. So I love that fight. And I think Boots, you know, he got the speed, he got the power. He has the ability to switch orthodox and southpaw. So he has a lot of tools in his arsenal, man. So
from a technical standpoint, Coach Breadman considers Ortiz the most difficult opponent Ennis could face. He believes the matchup is challenging because Ortiz's efficient offensive approach is well suited to exploiting the type of exchanges Ennis frequently engages in. Although he acknowledges Ennis's athletic advantages, Breadman feels Ortiz has the tools to consistently make him uncomfortable throughout the fight.
Stylistically, to me, the hardest fight for Boots is Virgil Ortiz. That's my honest opinion. Virgil Ortiz. Boots got them long, kind of like gangly arms, right? And sometimes he load up a little bit, and Virgil Ortiz punch short and compact, right in the mid-range on the inside, right where Boots like it. And in exchanges, Virgil Ortiz, I don't think he's as fast as Boots for like combinations of punches, but I do think that if Boots is throwing single shots, that Virgil's short, compact punches can get there. Because one thing Virgil don't play like Boots.
Even so, Coach Breadman still favors Ennis in a potential clash with Ortiz, but believes it would require one of his most disciplined performances. He warns that the defensive habits Ennis can sometimes get away with against other opponents could be punished by Ortiz's precise and efficient offense. In Breadman's view, Ennis has the superior overall ability, but he must stay focused from the opening bell to avoid giving Ortiz opportunities to capitalize.
Boots sometimes put his hands down, he lean back, he do all kinds of stuff.
Roll the shots.
Yeah, Boots does a lot of stuff where Virgil kind of just stays in one place and just fires right from where he's at. So in my opinion, I still think Boots can beat Virgil, but I do look at that fight and say Boots got to really be on his A game. He cannot be doing all of that kind of stuff where that boy is just firing right from the point of attack. Right there in the mid-range, firing them short little uppercuts and shit.
Comparing the mental preparation on both sides, Porter questions whether Ennis's team relies too heavily on talent rather than tailoring a specific game plan. He believes Fundora's focused preparation for individual opponents makes him far more dangerous than people realize.
Now, here's the thing that makes this guy dangerous to Boots. What I feel I know about Boots, I don't know if they game plan. To me, it seems like Boots is like, and Dad Bozy, we just gonna get you ready. Can't nobody get you. Well, sometimes you gotta get ready for the guy across from you. And what I now know about this dude, he getting ready for who's across from him. And that's why I'm breathing like that, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, he's going to be ready, he's going to have the right weapons, and he's going to be calling on the right weapons all night long. I have no doubt about that from this dude right here.
Focusing on tactical execution, Porter emphasizes that having endless skills isn't enough unless Ennis selects the exact right tools for this specific opponent. He stresses that discipline and precise weapon selection will ultimately separate victory from defeat against a giant like Fundora.
And I know with all 16 plus weapons that Boots got, Boots be like this.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta, nah, bruh. With this one right here, it's gotta be, all right, shotgun, don't. All right, stab him, all right, done. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta be pulling out the right things at the right time. We gotta be prepared to come to the ring with 8 weapons that we know we need against this dude. Not 16 weapons because we got 16. And to me, that's the difference between a Boots Ennis and a Sebastian Fundora.
Bernie the Boxer sees this as a razor-thin matchup, highlighting how Fundora bounced back mentally and strategically from a brutal knockout loss. He notes that rather than becoming timid, the champion evolved into a smarter operator, making this a true 50-50 fight.
But I'm saying that's a tough task. You know, I'm saying that man 6'6", you know, he boxing and you know, he didn't took that loss. And I feel like, you know, he didn't came back and he learned a lot. You know, it didn't ruin him, you know, because that was a bad knockout he took. But you know, he's not gun shy, and he's boxing smarter. So, you know, that's why. So I would say that's a 50-50 fight. And I would favor him over everybody else.
Breaking down the inside action, Bernie noted that Fundora's comfort in trading up close makes him uniquely dangerous despite his length. However, he sees Ennis's explosive hand speed and inside uppercuts as the ultimate equalizer in what would be a massive, high-stakes unification.
Well, you know, he can fight on the inside too, though. Fundora can fight on the inside too. You know, and he's not afraid to mix it up. So, I mean, he's a challenge for anybody. But to see Boots break that range, and you know, but Boots got them fast twitch punches. The inside, he go to uppercut. Did you see they got caught with that uppercut? If he beat Fundora, it won't be undisputed, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, that'll be the undisputed. So that'll be the high stakes. You know, that'll be everything because Fundora had that.
Coach Breadman predicts an absolute war that will ignite instantly and likely explode into a devastating early knockout. He explains that traditional head jabs will be useless against a giant, forcing the challenger to target the ribs and fight with unmatched ferocity.
Virgil, I think that Boots and Fundora is an absolute Hagler-Hearns type of shootout. I think Boots is mean as a rattlesnake, and he's gonna have to step to Fundora. I don't know if his jab, especially to the head, will be that effective against a guy that's 6'6". So you have to jab him to his body a lot and kind of step to him. And I think he's with that. That's the kind of fighter he is. I think that I think that will be an early round shootout. I think that will be the kind of fight that will end within 4 rounds.
The respected trainer envisions a savage collision between 2 fighters who possess the mindset of absolute animals in the ring. While he ultimately backs Jaron to emerge victorious, he promises that the undefeated star will have to swim through deep waters to earn it.
But it'll be a great fight because of both guys, man. Because Fundora looks like a schoolboy, but he's mean. And he's the guy that comes to get it with a big heart. So I think both of them are kind of like animals, and they will both be trying to end the fight very early. And I like Boots in the fight, but I definitely think it'll be a shootout. He will have to earn it.
Breaking down the massive structural disadvantages, Breadman emphasizes that the drastic height difference will trigger a brutal inside dogfight. Since the champion thrives on trading leather at close range, fans can expect a chaotic shootout, reminiscent of boxing's most legendary rivalries.
Boots is 5'10" and Fedora is 6'6". It's going to be hard to just hit him in the head with jabs all night. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he won't be able to, but he's going to have to jab a different part of his body. I think he's going to have to attack him. And Fedora obliges that. Fedora works on the inside. He's trying to hurt you too. So I just think it's just a brutal fight. A brutal Hagler-Hearns type of fight.
Ennis with the polish and pedigree, Ortiz with the power and pressure to change everything in a single exchange, and a growing chorus across the sport demanding this fight get made before the window closes. If you've got a prediction on how this one plays out, drop it in the comments. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the breakdown when it's official.